is up, Smashers? It is another awesome day hanging out. Guess what we're going to be doing? We're going to be mobilizing the PEC and cleaning up that serratus anterior. So now here's the thing with that PEC. You want to fix your bench press? I'm going to put this down on my patented camera stand, which is also known as a J-hook. But you want to fix that bench press, you want to fix your burpees, you want to fix any overhead mobility and any overhead motion that you do. You want to fix your muscle ups, you want to take care of throwing punches. All you MMA guys like Kevin, yeah, I know you're watching, Kev. So all that stuff relies on PEC Major and PEC Minor. The PEC Minor sits underneath, comes off of the ribs and hits that coracoid process, and it does what's called reach beyond reach. So it's this motion. So the problem is when we're bench pressing, we get out to the top and we try and struggle and push that last little bit out. Yeah, don't do that, because you're just relying on a muscle that's about this big to move a ton of weight. That's number one. Number two is that PEC Major glues down on that PEC Minor and restricts a lot of mobility, because that PEC Major, just to give you an idea, PEC Major and lat do the same movement. And I know if I just stopped right there, all you guys would freak out. So what it does is they both internally rotate that shoulder. So that's what I mean when I say the same movement. So on those, Globo gym days, I realize I'm a CrossFitter and I'm spitting fire right now, but on those Globo gym days, when you do back and chest, yeah, it doesn't help at all. What's happening is you're doing two things that are dumping the shoulder forward, so now your shoulder mechanics are really compromised. They sit really far forward, so your overhead position gets to about here, and you wind up hyperextending the lumbar spine in an effort to get overhead. This is a normal position without arching the back, and that's a really important thing to remember. So that PEC is going to wind up rolling things forward and chewing up the labrum and causing that head of the humerus to ride around the front of that glenoid fossa and chew up the bone and all the tissue in there, and then ratchet across that cartilage, that hyaline cartilage that's in there, that you're supposed to have that roll, slide, glide. We talked about this the other day. That's number one. Or I guess that's what, number two? The other part is that serratus anterior. So that serratus anterior protracts the scapula. Remember, scapula has 6 ranges of motion: protraction, retraction, elevation, depression, and then rotation, clockwise and counterclockwise. I just wanted to do this a bunch of times. And then what that means is that scapula floats and glides smooth across the rib cage, and if it can't do that, because you're not allowing it to accommodate that full range of motion, the shoulder's gonna suffer. So we're gonna unglue that PEC, we're gonna clean up that serratus anterior, and you're gonna go poof, mind flip when your shoulders work super good and you don't get that gnarly nighttime shoulder pain. It's just that easy. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a barbell. I used a 35, why? Because it's thinner and it hurts more. We're gonna grab my camera stand. And you know what, I just gotta do this because Kyle's a badass. That's Kyle Z. Remember what I said, Kyle's a Z. If you're not following him, give him a follow. The guy's a savage. And he's doing an EMOM that's really ugly and it sounds horrible. By the way, there was another workout going on in the background. This fireman right here, that'd be Brian. He was doing something so atrocious, it made my lungs catch on fire just watching. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get in front of this barbell. Barbell's gonna be at about hip height. I realize, see, I'm still in the picture. You're gonna lean all the way over the barbell, you're gonna trap that PEC, and there's two things you're gonna do. One is you're gonna grab the kettlebell. So there's a kettlebell here, it's about 800 pounds, okay? Just ignore the 26 that's on the outside. So you're gonna take the kettlebell, you're gonna spin it so your palm's open, so you're in external rotation, and all you're gonna do is do circles while leaning. So find all those hot spots and just grind around. I'm gonna need that lacrosse ball that just checked out. That's number one. And number two for this movement, let me move that kettlebell before I drop it on my foot. Same thing, spin the arm this way. Find that hot spot and kind of peel that PEC away. Get on that PEC Minor, bring it all the way back and all the way up. And you're really gonna focus on, oh, that's just awful. Smashing that and separating those fibers so that PEC moves the way it's supposed to. All right, those are those two. Here comes the fun one. We take a lacrosse ball, grab a band from the opposite side, loop your wrist all the way through. So this is gonna be under tension, so it's doubled up. And we're gonna take the lacrosse ball. I'm gonna tuck this band out of the way. Lacrosse ball is gonna sit right up underneath that PEC Minor. And then I had Travis do this, he's in the background right now, talking away. Lacrosse ball sits in here, hold it with your hand, and then just let it distract. So I'm just peeling off that PEC Minor until I feel it pretty much separate from the bone. Oh, that's number two. Do this on both sides. Doesn't matter if one side hurts and the other side doesn't. Do both sides. I got spies everywhere. Now we're gonna hit that serratus. Now the cool part about the serratus anterior is, remember, it's a really hard muscle to stretch, but it's gonna really inhibit a lot of extension of that shoulder. So extension of the shoulder, it's funny, I just tried to turn the camera while trying to turn my own body. So we're gonna be able to bring that shoulder into a lot of extension. That pec's gonna inhibit that. But in order to really, really peel away the serratus up underneath here, I call them the superhero muscles, all those little bumps on ribs, I think it's about 1 to 8. We need to really allow that full extension so that shoulder's got full excursion behind you. So in order to do that, we just do this. So this is super cool. Watch this. This is so much fun. So we take the band, we loop our arm inside the band at the elbow. You're gonna take a knee. Lacrosse ball is gonna take off on you. Hopefully it's not gonna interrupt the workout. We're gonna take the hand and we're gonna bring it behind you, and then you're gonna lean forward. So let me move this just a little bit so we can see what the shiz I'm doing. So let's do this just a bit. What we do is we take the band. I would raise this up even a little more. So the band sits at about head height. Loop the elbow into the band. Take the arm, stick it behind you, and then take this hand and grab the arm behind you. And you're gonna let it pull the arm all the way up. So I'll show you, just like that. You're gonna take a knee and really push forward and let it really drag that shoulder or that elbow up behind you like that. You're gonna feel this all in the side, kind of in the armpit and down the side of the body. This is peeling away that serratus anterior. How long do we hang out? 2 minutes. That's all we got. You wanna fix your pec, your shoulders, and your scap? Do all this stuff. Hey, listen, I'm Trev, SmashweRx. Check you guys out tomorrow.